How's it going, guys? It's Aaron here, and today we're back with another episode of the Dwarves. In the last episode we met two more companions who are now helping us along the way to actually get to this place here. Once we get there, however, they are insisting that we travel to the south with them in order to see the king of the Dwarves, as he has something important to tell us. We don't know what's going on at the minute, but these two certainly do, but they're reluctant to tell us what's going on. That being said, let's continue on our journey.
You arrive at a crossroads with a tavern on the corner. A warm light is emanating from its window, lighting up the road around it. A stone sculpture of a sheep stands in front of the door, and above it a sign, swaying gently in the breeze, reads, "The Stone Sheep." You observe the surroundings, but the road is empty, and no one leaves the tavern. You notice a broken window on the first floor, which has been boarded up with planks. Something wet drips onto your nose, and you look up to the cloudy sky with a bad-tempered expression.
Huh. Why are we standing here and just getting wet from the outside?
You enter the tavern with a determined stride, and are greeted by a thick wall of pipe smoke. The dozen or so drinkers at the tables turn towards you, then give each other astonished and slightly worried looks. You walk to the nearest empty table with the twins in tow and sit down. The landlord comes out from behind the bar.
What can I get you?
You hear surly muttering from one of the tables.
What are groundlings doing showing their faces here, now of all times?
Did two travellers pass this way? One was a famulus, the other a mercenary.
The landlord shakes his head indifferently and mumbles something incoherently. One of the guests is about to say something, but shuts up when the person next to him gives him a poke. You turn to the guest who is silenced.
Were you going to say something, my friend?
I'm not your friend, and I wasn't going to say anything either.
The man glances at his neighbor and then turns his attention back to his beer.
We're tired and long for a proper bed.
Of course, gentlemen.
You spend a restful night in the tavern and then head off on your way again.
So if I missed something then, I don't remember anything about a mercenary and the other word he used. Either that's not actually happened yet and I've just like started onto another quest, or I've just completely forgotten. I might have to check my previous video and actually see what's going on there.
There are dead orcs lying in the defensive trenches and strewn over the meadows in front of the city. Some of the locals are busy throwing the bodies on pyres, while others repair the minor damage done to the city wall. You enter the city and the garrison at its centre without being spoken to. It is only when you reach a heavy oak door that leads, you assume, to the commanding officer's headquarters, that you are halted by a guard.
Dwarves, eh? Seems we aren't to be spared anything these days. What do you want?
It looks like you've got an orc problem.
Had. Our scouts detected the army early on, and we were able to repel them without any great losses. A small army of orcs like that couldn't breach our mighty walls.
Your mighty walls look like they're about to collapse under their own weight!
The soldier isn't intimidated by Boindil. He juts his chin out confidently.
At least they stopped the orcs, unlike your dwarven walls in the north. Huh.
So is that a reference from the start then, since we actually lost the fight and they actually managed to open the gate, or was that something completely different?
I didn't know that Steepleton was so big. Impressive place.
We have fertile meadows. That's what we have to thank for the city's growth in recent years. At the time of my grandparents, Steepleton was nothing more than the tower on a hill with a couple of houses. Now we have a market, a temple, and of course, there are royal messengers stationed in the tower, which doesn't do the city's coffers any harm at all.
You said you had messengers here. I'd like to send a carrier pigeon to Lot Yonan in Yonandar.
Lot Yonan in Yonandar. No problem. It will cost you 90 gold pieces.
Wow, okay, that's quite a bit of money. How much do I actually have? But this... Oh, my guy's thinking it's worth the amount. My guy did say at the very beginning of the very end of the last episode that he needs to get a message to Lot Yonan at any opportunity, no matter what it costs. So I'm gonna follow my own guy's intention and actually go on along with this.
If the carrier pigeon delivers my message safely to Lot Yonan, then it's worth its weight in gold.
Then I'll send for a scribe. You can dictate your message and
thank you, but I can write it myself. Paper and ink will be sufficient.
The guard nods. You don't blame him for thinking you are illiterate. Very few ordinary folk can read or write. Once you've been given the writing implements, you write down a summary of what happened at the meeting of the Alf and the Orcs.
I must speak with your commander.
Commander Valor doesn't have time. He's still very busy dealing with the aftermath of the Orc attack.
And I've got information on that to help him.
Commander Valor is dealing with the Orc problem, and I have important information concerning it. I witnessed a meeting of the Orc Lords.
The guard eyes you with interest and tries to judge whether you can be trusted. Finally, he stands up, opens a door, and enters the room ahead of you. The commander looks up from his work. The guard repeats what you told him.
Your information about the Orcs could be useful. We have fought them back, but not yet defeated them. Come in.
The commander listens attentively, and now and then asks questions, as you tell him about the 3 Orc armies and the meeting of the chieftains with the Alf Synthoras.
This sounds very grave. I will send out messengers. We must be prepared.
The Orc army that attacked you was able to escape.
What was left of it? They headed south. Unfortunately, I can't send anyone after them until the damage to the wall is repaired.
The commander looks at you with a disgruntled expression. It suddenly seems clear to him who he has standing in front of him.
If you're interested, you could try and wipe out the mob that got away and collect the bounty.
Killing pig noses and getting paid for it? Where's the hedge?
You grin at Boindil, and then turn back to the commander.
We'll see what we can do. We must press on. Farewell, Commander Valor.
Kill as many Orcs as you can, Dwarves. Palandir will be with you.
So they ran off to the south then, but is that them there? That question mark wasn't there before, was it? Unless it was and I just never noticed. But there's no clear indication of where they actually went. Cause like normally I thought it'd be on the map or something already, but it doesn't look like they actually are. No, there's no indication at the very second, so I might just continue on the main mission for now, better than just wandering around blindly. Dwarf merchant, what was that thing that was moving alongside me though when I started moving? I'm sure I saw something. Oh well, I'll figure that out later, but for now let's just try and get to this point here. There it is.
You see a camp with a wagon and 2 people on the edge of the path. Behind them, Black Saddle towers up above a thick, dark forest, about a half a day's journey away.
Watch what happens. Well, clearly we don't even had much luck with humans at the very second.
2 horses are standing near the covered wagon, grazing. You can make out the shapes of boxes and barrels on the wagon. The 2 humans are wearing smart clothes, and are sitting next to a large campfire. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. You don't want to give them a shock, so you address them while you're still a distance away.
Hello, friends. Is there any space by your fire?
The two traders look up and visibly jump when they see you three dwarves.
Ah, hello. Yes, of course.
It doesn't escape your attention that you seem to be causing the traders some uneasiness, but you take up their offer and sit down. The twins follow your example.
We're only travelers. We're looking for someone who's said to live on Blacksaddle. A hermit.
Someone who lives here?
The traders exchange amazed looks.
If they live here, they must be mad.
Normally we wouldn't stop and rest here, but the horses are too exhausted. Our departure from Parista was delayed and we must have driven them too hard.
Why does Blacksaddle make you feel uneasy? It doesn't look particularly inviting, but it's only a mountain.
Only a mountain? You don't know the legend?
The trader looks at you and the twins for affirmation, but you all shake your heads.
Blacksaddle was once known as Cloudpiercer, and it towered up into the heavens, the upper slopes of pure gold and the summit covered in snow. The humans wanted to attain this wealth, but the smooth slopes and the dazzling summit made the climb impossible. They called on the dwarves to help them. They were able to tunnel up through Cloudpiercer to the top. They hollowed it out and carried away the gold. The humans demanded that the treasure be shared, but the dwarves refused, and as they argued, the mountain began to tremble. There were too many holes inside for it to hold together. It collapsed and buried both greedy parties underneath it. The mountain lost its tremendous size and its beauty, and ever since has haunted both humans and dwarves with its erosive hatred, causing even the rocks to turn black over time.
Never heard of it. Sounds like human tittle-tattle. Dwarves would never hollow out a mountain so much that it collapses.
You come from Parista. How are things there?
No news to speak of, I'd say. Well, except for Nudin the Knowledge Lusty.
You know Nudin the Knowledge Lusty. Lot Yonan introduced him to you many years ago during a visit.
What about him?
Oh, nothing really. Just rumors.
You nod at the trader to continue.
He's behaving strangely and disappears into his tower for days on end.
And he looks ill, apparently. Well, that's what someone I know said. Perhaps he got a spell wrong.
No, I didn't mean to have to buy anything. Well, that's pretty much that's the end of our
Later in the
conversation
night,
then.
After eating together and some friendly conversation by the campfire, you all decide to sleep. But you take the first watch. It's a
No, of
night
course
in
I
which
do.
nothing happens, and the next morning the traders set off early. After breakfast, you also continue on your journey.
Alright, looking at this, we finally reached our first destination. What is it? Where's it gone now? I've lost it again. I don't think I can actually follow it. I think it disappears eventually when the turn ends.
After a march through the thick pine forest, Blacksaddle, the sinister tabletop mountain, and your journey's destination rises up before you.
Are you sure that the Famulus lives here?
Yes, according to Lot Yonan.
Although you try to put a lot of assurance into your voice, you too see no signs that anyone lives here.
No castle, no tunnel, no camp. There's nothing here but mountain.
Then we'll have to take a closer look.
You do that, scholar. We'll be waiting for you here.
You think about objecting, but it would just be a waste of breath.
So at least something's finally happening then, but seems like unfortunately we're doing this on our own. As you can see in the last episode, we barely managed to fight with 3 people, let alone 1. So hopefully we won't need them at all. Where am I going? Okay, there's something here.
I can only climb a little way here. There must be a better way.
There might be, but at the minute we can't see because there's a quite thick fog. I think we've just gone around in the circle, to be perfectly honest with you. Look at the forest. Well, that actually took me a long way. I didn't think it would take me this far.
The green forest seems to be afraid of the Black Mountain.
Okay.
Found anything? A hidden camp? A secret doorway? Gold?
No. Not yet.
So there's definitely something here that I have to find, but what that is, I have no idea.
An old tree. Looks like it could fall down at any moment.
Ah, okay, I think we have to climb up this then, do we? Or knock it down. Ah, okay, we've got sort of a ladder sort of thing going on here now then. I actually didn't notice that tree the first time I came past this place.
If Garen is here, then he is further up. I should find some kind of clue before I climb down again. I should be able to get up here. Phew. That was close.
Almost died there. Probably not climb up that again.
If Garen is here, then he is further.
Okay, repeating the same stuff. If I would have collapsed again if I try and climb up it. No, one looks like we're safe for now. Okay, we made it. Good. Making progress. What's down this way? Oh, I thought it was a treasure chest, but it's just a bush. Climb up this slope then. Okay, it's not a slope.
Here's a... No, forget it.
Here's a what?
Definitely a rock face.
Was he just talking about the tree then and think of climbing up it and then just change his mind?
There's something engraved on it.
You realize with surprise that they are runes in the Dwarven language.
Built with the blood of our enemies, be unyielding as the rock, and soak the land in their blood. Huh? Hello?
Yeah, if you're that scared, guys, probably best not go on your own.
Master Garen? Lot Yonan sent me to bring some items back to you. My inquiries are almost at an end. That means I can finally go to be with my sunshine. I have never been to Glade, but I think I will like it there. I deposited my most valuable things in the grave of Horengarth before my departure and secured it with magic. The password is...
You recognize the following words as rune names, but they're written in the learned language, so you don't know which they are.
Glade. Oh, great.
So is he not here? Has he left? Take the what? Take the lamp. Best idea, especially in the dark.
Eternal flame. I know who taught him that.
Ah, I thought it crashed then, I got worried. My guy's just stopped here, something's happening.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Just heard whispering in my ear then. It's not cringy at all.
It looks as though Garen lived in the fortress for a while. It also seems that he left several lunar orbits ago.
He's not
Take him with me.
stealing. It would just be a shame if the provisions went off.
We don't know this guy. We don't owe him
A
jack.
series of weapons that are all clearly of dwarven origin. The spider webs and rust suggest they have been here for quite a while. Maybe even centuries.
That's fine. There we go. Oh, that's quite cool. Are we getting possessed?
It belongs to the dwarf haters.
Oh, shit. Probably not the best place to be then. So is that our cue to leave?
Born of stone, forged in battle. Arise, reborn from the blood of the enemy.
You're not sure if you really want to know what was once in this basin. The whole place gives you the feeling that a decent dwarf shouldn't hang around too long.
I think we should leave. I want to go back here just to see if anything else is happening before we actually get out of here. Yeah, there is.
Norimber's dwarves are not only as unyielding as a mountain, they are also as destructive as an avalanche, and would batter into lesser kingdoms just as relentlessly. The four should find no salvation in Vrachus, only eternal damnation, so that they suffer indescribable torment between the worlds.
You have heard of the dwarf haters, but this is the first time you have read their hateful words. You feel sick and turn away.
Right, I'm gonna get out of here. I don't think there's anything else left for me to do. Probably need to return to the other two, tell them what we found. Oh, no, there's something here. Tell them what we found and maybe they might come back here with us.
Really magical.
Oh, what have I done? Am I lighting them all? Unless you have to do it in like a sequence. Yeah, they've just turned off, so that one's stayed on. So I'm assuming this is the very first one we have to light up. And then I'm gonna guess this one. I wouldn't believe it'd be the middle one. Yeah, there we go. So what did that do?
Ah, that's it.
Open the sarcophagus. Please don't attack
Loren's
me.
most valuable belongings. Letters from his lover, a silk scarf that must have belonged to her, and a medallion.
Added to the infantry, so there's definitely infantry somewhere, but how do I get to it? There's clearly some way I can actually equip my characters, but how? Okay, I just literally select it. Select the character and then select that. Okay, got it. Wait. Small healing potion. So I could have healed myself the whole time in that fight we had last time. Damn it. God. Oh well. At least we know now. At least we know now for future reference. I do hope we're not leaving too early, because the last thing I want is to actually have to come back here just to run back down. I'll go back here. Let's read the main quest thing first. Okay, that's not telling me a thing, so maybe I'll go back and just tell him about the cave.
So, Scholar, what are the results of your inquiries?
There is an abandoned fortress in the mountain, and I think it belonged to the Thirdlings.
Boindale's eyes narrow.
The blasted dwarf killers!
A Thirdling Fortress? Here? In the middle of Girdlegard?
We must let High King Gundrabur know about this.
The fortress has been long abandoned by the looks of it. Anyway, I can't go to Ogre's death until I have completed my quest. Goren is in Glade.
Huh.
The High King. Why do you want to bring me to him?
All right then. It's about the choice of the new High King. Gandagar, the king of the Thirdlings, is with his entourage in Ogre's death and is supposed to ascend the throne.
But our acting High King Gundrabur wants to prevent that from happening. He fears that Gandagar wishes to instigate a war against the elves.
Can you really blame him? Look what they did in the very first episode. Well, to be honest, one elf did that. I don't know if all the elves feel the exact same way. Not to mention that guy in the start looks possessed to me.
But what have I got to do with that?
Boindil is about to say something, but is silenced by a nudge in the side from his brother.
High King Gundrabur will explain everything when the time comes.
You look distrustfully from one twin to the other. Boindil has donned an innocent expression, and Boendal doesn't give you the impression that he has anything else to say on the matter.
So I'm assuming that we're some sort of royalty. Why else would they be keeping secrets from me?
What does this King Gandagar have against the elves?
Dwarves and elves just don't get along. Brachus and Satalia made us that way.
Yeah, have you never seen Lord of the Rings?
But going to war? For just that, after all this time?
Well, there must be more behind it. They say that the king of the Thirdlings is full of hatred and is a hothead in this matter.
A Thirdling Fortress? Here, in the heart of Girdlegard. That's strange, isn't it?
And worrying. But they've always been wily. They move in the shadows and kill there too if they can. Do you know their story?
I've read about it. Lorenberg, their progenitor, rejected the name that Vrachas gave him, who in turn did not give him any special talent, so his kingdom studied war.
It helps them defending the East, but it also meant they ended up confronting the other kingdoms. No dwarf would ever even think of injuring one of his kind, never mind killing them. But the dwarf killers are proud of it. When they were even more powerful, they wanted to become the rulers of all dwarves. They are envious of our skills. They haven't been heard of for a long time, but you can be sure there isn't a single dwarf alive who doesn't hate them.
Whatever, your High King must wait. I have a quest to carry out in Glade.
But our quest is...
Boindil raises a placatory hand and throws his rucksack onto his back in preparation.
Let it be, dear brother. Look at him. He has made his decision, and you will not be able to change his stubborn dwarven mind.
You can't help but smile.
Alright, this episode is getting quite long, but I don't feel happy enough to actually end it yet, simply because nothing has actually happened yet. Oh, that is quite far away. What do I do? Let's travel a bit more first. It might be a long episode, but hopefully you guys enjoy it long enough.
While taking a rest, you see a cart trundling along the road not far away from you. A young couple are sitting on the box seat, clearly in love and more interested in each other than the rest of the world around them. The sight reminds you of a long unanswered question.
So, I was wondering, what do female dwarves look like?
Pretty. Very pretty.
Uh-huh.
You were expecting a little more information.
Do they have beards?
No, I would say it's more like fluff. Oh, very attractive.
And what do they do? I mean, are they warriors too?
In our kingdom, most take care of domestic life. They take the animals down to the meadows in the valleys, make sure the larders are full and that there's plenty of good beer, and make our clothes.
It only ever causes problems when men and women stand shoulder to shoulder in battle.
Some of them are talented stonemasons and smiths, and beware of insulting their skills. They are no less proud than we are.
Guys, I generally did forget about them little mini clip things we have on the world map here, so if they can constantly keep happening, this is going to be quite a long episode, so for that fact alone, I'm going to be ending this episode here. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to see more, please leave a like and share, so support a big community. That being said, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, take care, thank you so much for watching.